And welcome into another edition of the Earl Hall Show. I'm your host, Earl Hall. We have a very good show for you on today and a very special guest. We have with us Miss LaWanna Bradford, a powerhouse serial entrepreneur, global strategy leader, and award-winning change agent with over 30 years of experience. As CEO of the Bradford Group and principal of the Bradford Group Consulting, LaWanna accelerates growth and innovation for business and entrepreneurs worldwide. She's a 5-time international best-selling author, a dynamic media personality, and a recipient of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for her dedication to empowering women. LaWanna's bold strategies proves that transformation in life and business is possible one step at a time. Please help me welcome LaWanna Bradford to the show. Welcome in, first time on the Earl Hall Show. Thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Earl. I'm real excited about this conversation.
Well, so am I. I mean, to say the least, you're a busy woman. You know, at the time of this recording, we're in 2025 now. Tell me a bit about what was so exciting for you ending out and all through 2024.
Wow, 2024 was a period of both highs and lows for me. So just had an incredible opportunity with stage presence, going to Super Bowl Media Week, and really building my personal brand in a way that I hadn't done before. And then life happened. Unfortunately, my dad ended up getting sick, and we lost him in September. Thank you. But the beautiful thing in all this, Earl, is my dad was 94, lived an incredible life. He was one of the last living Buffalo Soldiers, if you know anything about the Buffalo
Yes,
Soldiers.
ma'am, we do.
And he has been my mentor, coach, and best friend my entire life. So 2024 was so exciting because all of the successes Dad lived to see. And I was able to share all of the wins with him. And so coming into 2025 felt a little foreign because, I was so used to, planning and, getting tips from Dad as I, got ready to navigate the next year. And it's like, wow, this is the first time for the rest of my life that Dad won't be in my annual journey. But all the love, all the teachings, continue to guide me every single day. So like I said, it was both incredible highs in my life, but the lowest low I've ever experienced.
I'm definitely sorry to hear that about your father.
Thank you.
We all go through different tragedies and things of that nature in our lives. How are you looking to push on through all of this in 2025? And what's going to keep your focus on the goals that you're setting, seeing that your life has changed so much by losing your dad?
It's interesting how certain things pop up, your points of inspiration. And when I was going through some of my dad's things, I found a photo of him. He used to be a marathon runner, and we actually ran 2 marathons together. We did a marathon relay, and there is a photo of him passing me the baton. And I saw that, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it. I'm going to blow it up. And that's my inspiration. It's like, it's now time for me to rise in my divine genius that God's given me, stand boldly in my purpose, and live full out. Because you know what, Earl, I asked my dad, this is about 2 months before he passed. This is prior to him getting sick. And I said, Dad, you've lived this great life. You've traveled the world. What else is on your bucket list? And he looked at me very seriously. He said, nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. Everyone has stuff on their bucket list. He said, not if you live with purpose. He had completed his bucket list. He had completed everything.
Now that's an amazing story, amazing journey, amazing life. Obviously that he represented for you. For the people that you represent, the people that you help, the people that you encourage and inspire, what would be the thing you would want them to be able to say about you in retrospect, kind of based on what you've said about your dad? How do you want people to remember and talk about LaWanna?
I think the number one thing is that I lived with a caring heart and that I lived as a servant leader. I really want when people meet me, whether they do business with me or not, that they're changed because I've just made their time and space just a little bit better, brought some smiles to their face, or maybe some wisdom, some aha moments they didn't think about. But I see myself as a change maker, and I have the gift of sight. So I'm able to help people connect the dots where they may find confusion.
Mm,
I show them how to find opportunity in the chaos and to translate those stumbling blocks into stepping stones.
awesome. And we're going to talk about some of that, especially with what you've got going on with your R3 as well. What is the thing, over the past few years and leading up to what you're doing with R3 that really inspires you, that really gets you up in the morning? What is that all about?
Wow. I think my big inspiration is actually born in some frustration. So, being a serial entrepreneur for 30 years, I found that there's two segments of the population that are struggling and continue to struggle. That's our Black and Brown business owners, and it's our women in business. And I'm speaking specifically here in the US for myriad of reasons. I mean, not to get into all of that, but it's like, okay, how can we, based upon what we currently and what we have within our control, how can we make a difference? How can we improve our individual lives so that the lives of our family, the community, and the nation can be improved? Because it first starts with us. So that's my passion, is like to get women to really wake up to the truth around them, right? There's a financial crisis facing women, and women don't want to talk about it. As long as I look good, my nails are done, my hair is done, then I can put on the mask. It's like, no, let's take off the mask. Let's deal with those deficiencies, and then let's rise up. Then we can conquer, then we can overcome. But if we continue to perpetrate who we are to the world, then we're lying to ourselves and we can never move forward.
Right. We're just wearing a facade,
Exactly.
not really being real about it. I mean, in the entrepreneur world, I mean, women are definitely on the rise. It's the biggest sector. I mean, mostly women are starting new ventures at this point. Why do you think that is?
I think they're looking for, number one, a sense of empowerment, a sense of being recognized, because in the corporate sector, the level of recognition isn't there, and the opportunity to sort of control what's next in their lives. But when I mention like the financial crisis facing women, it's a little surprising that the average woman in business makes less than $60,000 a year. So if you're making less than $60,000 a year and you look at your business operating expenses, what are you really making? And then paired with the pandemic and in the industries most women are in, we've kind of gone backwards. So now we're trying to regain our footing in order to build. But we're in catch up mode right now.
Gotcha. I mean, dealing with women and women entrepreneurs in particular, and facing the challenges, the financial challenges that they're facing and everything else. One of the things that I've always said as a coach and a consultant for years is a lot of times in business, people know how to do the thing that they know how to do. Like, I'm a voice actor. I can do voiceovers, add music, all that other kind of stuff like that. But that's just the skill set that I use in business. But building a business is an entire another skill set on top of that has nothing to do with what I'm good at. So a lot of times and I'll ask you the question, how do you explain this to these entrepreneurs that are coming to you? They're saying, I have a good product, I have a good service, but nobody's buying it. How do you guide them through that process?
I think that is one of the biggest hurdles, that it doesn't matter what your gender is, a background, that individuals are challenged with, especially when you're coming out of corporate sector or you're working for someone, is like you said, you've got the skill set and you're
Mm-hmm.
brilliant at it, but no one taught you how to run a business. No one taught you how to position and how to market yourself, how to become the best viable option out there. And so I walk them through understanding, first, you have to rise out of a worker's mindset and have a strategic mindset. Being able not only to look at your team, and when I say team, you may be a business of one, but you do have a team of stakeholders, partners, individuals you're working with, looking at that, and then also looking at the other industries or people in your industries, because success leaves clues. So don't fear the competition. learn from it.
Yeah, and competition is big. And I think people shun away or shy away from competition in many things. They see it as a bad thing, but I think that's how we all get much better because we have people that are directly or indirectly challenging who it is that we are. I mean, with you being a serial entrepreneur, what would you think the most unexpected lesson has been that you've learned in your
I would say the most unexpected lesson is know your role, know your lane of genius and your strength, and respect others who may have something different. So I'll give you a story. My very first traditional business was a brick and mortar called Pro Starter Sports. It was a licensed sporting apparel store that I owned with my business partner, who's still my business partner of almost 40 years, Rick Span. He was a visionary of this concept. And we were the biggest providers at that time. This is in the late 80s of pro fit hats. I mean, we had everything, but everyone was rushing to us because we had the biggest diversity of hats available, both collegiate and professional. And he said, LaWanna, we need to position ourselves and create this online drop ship platform. And keep in mind, we're talking about in the 80s.
Okay.
And I said, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. People are not going to buy online. I said, do you really think they're going to put their credit card in this cyberspace? I said, they're not going to do it. I said, it sounds nice. It's novel. I said, but they're not going to do it. So that's an example of not knowing your lane and respecting those that sometimes have the sight, because he was so far ahead of his times. And he often teases me. He's like, LaWanna, we could have been the Jeff Bezos of the day.
Right. Instead of starting Amazon with books, you would have started with Profit Hats.
Yeah.
With that. We are here today with serial entrepreneur LaWanna Bradford. We're going to take a short break and we're going to be right back. Are you ready to share your story with an audience eager to learn from your journey? Welcome to the Earl Hall Show, the podcast where entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, and creatives share their unique insights and experiences. With over 15,000 subscribers on YouTube and episodes promoted on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, your story will reach an engaged and growing audience. As a guest, you'll join me for a 20-minute pre-recorded video interview aired every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Book your spot now for just $49. This offer won't last long. The Earl Hall Show. Your story deserves to be heard. In today's fast-paced world, success often feels like a numbers game. Bank accounts, titles, prestige. But what if true success went deeper than that? I'm Earl Hall, author of Mind Your Business, a new book that invites you to look beyond just profiles and into what really drives you as an entrepreneur. Mind Your Business isn't just about making money. It's about understanding your purpose, overcoming self-doubt, and cultivating a mindset that's resilient and grounded. I've built this book on hard-earned insights, stories from my journey, and lessons from other entrepreneurs like you. This book will help you shift your perspective, ignite your passion, and align your business with what truly matters. So, if you're ready to redefine success, Mind Your Business is available. Let's take this journey together. Grab your copy and start building a business and a life that reflects your true self. And welcome back into the Earl Hall Show. I'm here with LaWanna Bradford. We're having a great conversation right now just about a lot of the different accomplishments and thoughts and feelings that she's had, in particular through 2024 and moving into 2025 right now. LaWanna, I'm really interested in what you've got going on with R3. Can you give us some insight to that?
Yes. So the R3 is our proprietary system. It's a personal and business GPS. And I am a licensed and certified strategist, over 30 years in strategic planning, working with government agencies as well as billion-dollar corporations. And I realize that there's a process when it comes to traditional strategy, right? But just like everything in life, business changes. The way we do business, the tools, and how we apply the tools. And so today, most small business owners look at, I hear strategy. Okay, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. And let me guess and the things I'm going to put in place to get me there. That doesn't work anymore. And that's where like the secret sauce is missing. That's why you have legacy companies and those companies that last maybe 3 months to 3 years. And what it is the R3 system is my system that overlays traditional strategy. And it enables you to first identify what it is that you've said that you're going to do, but more importantly, why you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't show up and if you're not committed to you, why would you expect the world to show up and applaud you? Why would you expect anybody to line up and buy from you if you don't really believe in what you're doing? So it's a little bit more than a mindset, because mindset is one thing. I can think it, I can believe it, but if I don't put it into action, I don't go anywhere. And then the second part, so that's the refocusing, and then the reframing component. And I'm giving just really
Yes.
digestible version of this. With the reframing, it's realizing that we are architects. We're architects of our lives. We're architects of our business. We're architects of our families. And what does an architect do? They design exactly what things are going to look like. They have a blueprint. Martin Luther King said, "What is the blueprint of your life?" And so the second R is reframing, designing exactly how you want your life to be, owning it, and realizing that in your frame, there really isn't any competition. There's only competition if you let it in. So think about that. It's a little bit hard for people to process, but if you've designed it, so it's like you own your home. Who comes in your home unless you open the door or you have some situations where they may be able to break in. But for the most part, you open the door and you let your guests in. That's the same thing within our lives and the framework that we operate on. And then the third thing is recommit. And for me, Earl, that was the hardest part, because when life has beaten you down and you are broken and just start to question, am I worthy and deserving? Even though you've built your lane, you're thinking, can I really operate in it? You've set the rules of the game, but you're wondering, can I even play the game anymore? So recommitting is being able to rise up, get out of the ash and trash, dust yourself off and say, I realize what I built. I've owned it. It's my time. And you step in and you dominate your lane. Doesn't matter what's happening to the left and right of you. You dominate your lane, your space and time.
Well, definitely, you have to dominate your lane. And what you were saying about competition is so true. It's like you are an individual, whoever the business owner, the entrepreneur is. No one's going to do the thing like you do the thing. It is going to be unique anyway, unless you're trying to be a copycat of someone else, with that. And it kind of makes me think of, now that we're going full blown into the age of AI, right? With so many things, are you, or are there some ways that you're incorporating or thinking about using AI with what it is that you do with your clients with the R3 system?
Yeah, definitely. Going back a little bit. So in my corporate career, my first job, I was a statistician for the Information Systems Command. So I dealt with satellite communications, fiber optics. So I kind of am like a geeky that way, always forward thinking, looking at where the world is going. And AI for the masses seems like it's new. It's been around decades.
Yes, it has.
Right? So yes, if individuals aren't looking at how they can use it as a tool to create more efficiencies, broader reach, then you are going to be obsolete in, I'd say, 2 to 3 years, because everything is going toward it in some degree. And I'm talking beyond ChatGPT.
Of course.
Right.
With that, it's like, you don't want to miss this wave. You missed the first wave when your business partner said, we need to get this online and we need to do da 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 da. But we don't want to miss this one this time, right? There's not going to be too many more apples coming down the line for us to be able to invest in, or Microsoft, or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is the big opportunity. This is like like you said, it's like the Apple, it's like the Bitcoin, it's the .com.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so I encourage people, look at what's going on. And I had someone ask me yesterday, LaWanna, what AI stock should I invest in? And I told them, I said, I'm not going to tell you how to invest your money, because that's not the lane that I'm in, even though I have some ideas. But I do encourage individuals, look at where, sort of like a mutual fund of AI, where there's different AI stocks embedded in one investment. If you're not savvy enough, that would be the smartest move to make.
Well, there's definitely a lot to look into with AI, money investing. And I think one of the things, common things that goes on with so many people is how do I have my money make me money? You know, with what's going on. So that's extremely interesting to me with that. I mean, what do you feel like, especially with everything that you've done, what is your greatest strength and how has it served you in your business?
Greatest strength is my strategic sight. Literally knowing, being able to connect the dots. I mean, that's why big businesses pay me a lot of money for what I do. I'm able to see where the opportunities are as well as the risk, and how to develop those contingency plans or those mitigation strategies in order to ensure that that company or business is better prepared for sustainability. Because in this day and age, it's about finding out, how can I sustain myself
Hmm.
so I do more than survive, but I thrive, right? How do I become more responsive rather than react in what I'm doing? And that requires, since we're talking small business, you've got to rise up. Stop working so diligently on it
Mm,
that you're not able to stand up and plan for the directions that it's going. And I always tell people this, Earl, is when change happens, think about it as a tsunami, as a wave coming. You definitely don't want to be on the sidelines saying, what, there was a wave,
yeah.
you know, and you don't want to be overtaken by the wave. Ideally, you want to be in front of it, right? Because you've had those predictive analytics to tell you. But if
Mm,
you can't be in front of it, at least be adept enough to ride the crest of the wave. And
amazing.
we're in a tsunami. We're in a tech tsunami right now.
Wow.
So where does everyone stand?
I mean, you have a lot of experience over the past decades, at this point in business and a lot of the things that you know about. If you could go back and give your younger self just one piece of advice, what would it be?
If I could go back, it would be to not second guess myself. And I'm saying, because when the example that I gave you, I was second guessing instead of just saying, you know what, it may sound crazy. Everyone may be going left, but there's a reason we got an indicator to go right. Just go. Just go. If you fall, you can pick yourself back up, but just go. So don't so I wouldn't play small.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Luana, how can folks stay in touch or get in touch with you to work with you and see what you got going on? How do they do that?
They can contact me on social media by my name, LaWanna Bradford, or my website, lawannabradford.com. And if you want to check out the work that we're doing on the mortgage side, it's bradfordgroupmtg.com.
Awesome. LaWanna Bradford has been our featured guest here today on the Earl Hall Show. LaWanna, thank you so much for being here. This has been a great conversation, and I'm sure folks will get a lot out of this. So the honor's been mine to have you on the Earl Hall Show today.